no one really told me about all of the strange things that women will do when you start to develop yourself as a man. And so hopefully in this video, we're going to set you straight so that you can have that godlike mindset and move forward with a sense of understanding and purpose and vigor and virility, so that you don't have to play into these games that women will do. And you have to understand the reason why women do these things, because they themselves don't even know why they do what they do. And you, of course, have probably heard the platitude that you can either love women or you can understand them. You can't do both. Well, I don't think that's true, because the thing is that as a man, you have to lead from a place of love. If you want to lead from, if you want to lead a woman properly, you have to lead from a place of love. Otherwise, it's not going to be a healthy relationship dynamic. You're just going to be posing as someone who knows what they are doing and what they're talking about and how to enforce things, but you're actually not. I mean, it could last, a relationship could last, sure, but is it going to be truly a spiritually sound relationship? I don't know. I don't think it will be. And, you can have your thoughts on that in the comments, I suppose, but the weird things that women will do is that they will reject you when they actually like you. Okay? You have to be mindful of this one, though, because one of the reasons that they do this, one of the reasons why they do what they do with this kind of situation, is that they themselves have not matured to the point in which they are capable of discerning how to actually receive. They don't know how to receive. Women are the receivers, men are the givers. A woman will either multiply what you have or she will take what you have. And if she doesn't know how to multiply it, maybe she won't even take it. She just will try to reject it. But in reality, she's taking your respectfulness as a man and she's trying to stomp on it. She doesn't even know that that's what she's doing, because she's just immature. And women don't often really know how to reciprocate nowadays. And so they'll reject an attractive man that they like because they actually might think that, oh, he's a cheater, or that, he's clearly got options, so I don't want to have to deal with the competition. Weird stuff like that. Women will do that kind of thing. And it's all because they want to claim your timeline. They don't want to have to live on a timeline in which they know that you're capable of women that are as good or even better than her. She doesn't like that. She wants to be the one that people see as the prize, right? Why do you think all of these women out here will choose, like, I'm sure you've seen these very attractive women choose men that are just low caliber, kind of retarded, right? Like, what are they doing, right? Why would you choose to be with a man like that? Well, it's either for one or two reasons. The guy has incredible game, and by game I mean just frame, because that's really what game is frame. The guy has incredible frame, or she just wants to be in control. And you can tell when it's a woman just wanting to be in control, which is the majority of the time, because most men that are that ugly, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but most of the men that are that ugly and that retarded, they don't even care. They just will worship her, because that's what the woman wants. She wants to be worshipped. She wants to have her ego inflated. She wants to live on a fake timeline in which she is inflated with the timeline. The timeline is inflated. She's trying to extend this sense of fantasy through a fake timeline, when in reality it's going to collapse in her face. And she's not going to know what to do about it, but she's going to try to prolong that for as long as she can. And she's going to try to steal and siphon the energy of this man to make her look good until otherwise. Some of the other weird things that women will do is, when you become an attractive man and when you are actually building yourself up and you're capable of looking a woman dead in the eye and you don't break eye contact, okay, she might try to, give you the sex eyes. Okay, she's going to give you the bedroom eyes. And you'll, depending on what's going on, be mindful who this is it, like who she is with, right? Because if she's with someone or if she's not with someone, this is going to be determining how she actually views you. Because marriage, it's not really real anymore. Okay, I've had more women that are married hit on me over the past few years than I have single women. Most of the time, women who are overt in their sexual advances, let's say with me, are usually married. And that's just something that I've seen. I'm not saying that that's everyone. I'm not saying that that's all women, but look, look, dudes, a lot of your girls, it's not your girl. She's for everybody. And I hate the saying, it's not her, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Why the, who, it's not, you're still seeing women in a pedestalizing way. You're still seeing women as like the thing to get. Why? No. It's her turn with you, man. It's her turn with you. And I'm not saying that you should go out and be promiscuous or anything like that, but I'm saying as a man, I'm not even saying that you should see yourself as a prize. I'm just saying that a healthy relationship dynamic in which you're the capable leader and she's the submissive follower, that's the prize right there, is the relationship. The relationship itself is going to be the prize. Not you, not her, it's the relationship, because that's ultimately what's going to be everlasting, right? But both people have to choose that. Both people have to choose to be either the leader or the submissive, and that's just the way that it is. And so when you have that, hopefully, that's going to be a good thing, right? That's going to be a really positive thing. And I think that that's something that we all ought to strive for, ideally. I'm not saying that that's going to be what everybody deserves or what everybody gets or what everybody should get, I suppose. But ideally, I would say that that's the real prize, right? Is a healthy, satisfying relationship in which you can have a family and you can build your little army, of kids, and go out and produce and love life and love reproduction, etc. Like, we don't hate kids here. We love kids, and we want to see more of them. We want to see more godly kids in the world. So yeah, I mean, by all means, let's see more godly kids, but let's see them come about the right way. Okay, let's not try to enforce our fake timelines onto these kids or rob them of their own timeline, because that's really what you're doing when you realize, like, a lot of these women who are on SSRIs and birth control, which is fallen angel technology. And when I say fallen angel technology, I mean essentially these are, you can think about them as shadow spirits. That's the way that I think about them. You can think about them as shadow spirits who are trying to incrementally take control of the vessel of the man or the woman. And they can influence, but they can't actually control you. They can only control you and influence you in regard to the amount of yielding that you have in your spirit. That's why you have to have a strong spirit. So another thing that I'm thinking about with the strange things that women will do is they will ghost you for no reason. Everything might be going fine. Everything might be going well. And all of a sudden, you're ghosted for no reason at all. For no reason at all. You have no idea what was going wrong. Maybe you didn't even do anything wrong, but they just ghost. Again, this is not a you issue. This is a her issue. She's either trying to hide you. In my experience, she's either trying to hide you from someone else, or she just recognizes that, she doesn't know how to communicate properly, and so she'll leave. Women don't know how to communicate as much as they want to be communitarians. They don't know how to communicate more often than not. They just don't. And they don't know what they want until they get it. That's just the way that it is. Okay, you don't have to think too much. And again, you can understand women and still have love for them, but I don't think you can be in love with women. I don't recommend that. I think that you can have love for women, share it, have that affection, but to be in love with a woman, I think that that's, or rather to fall in love, I think is the more semantically correct term there. To fall in love with a woman is completely dangerous for you as a man. I'm not even sure if a lot of the times people even understand what they're doing when they get involved with another woman. I don't think a lot of dudes understand just how many soul ties these women have. Because think about what a soul tie is, right? A soul tie is essentially a woman who is still on another timeline, pretending like she's not on another timeline. So she's collecting timelines and she's trying to destiny swap all these other dudes and siphon their energy. And men do this too, right? Of course, men do this too, but right now we're talking about women. Women will siphon off the energy because they feel like they're trying to convert men to do what they want without telling men straight up what they want. It's asinine, really. It's just crazy. And this is some of the weird stuff that women will do. Okay, they will wear a mask, a moral mask, and claim the moral high ground while also claiming to be the victims. Honestly, women are brilliant at this. And it's astounding how so many men don't see this. It's astounding how many men will simp for these women. And I don't use this term as a derogatory statement. I simply use it as a term of a phenomenon that which happens in reality. Because these are women who they know what they're doing. Okay, look, the women who are on OF, okay, the Bonely cans, women who are on Bonely cans, you know, they are the midnight dancers, okay, those types of women, they know what they're doing. They know dang well, and they like it, you know. And at least most of them have the ability to be honest about they like it. I have more respect for those types of women than the women who are married, claiming to be these like trad con wives, and then in reality they're going behind their men's backs. It's like, no, this is ridiculous. And I'm always very careful about vetting women now, because women, they will behave very strangely. And I don't see that, like, ghosting doesn't really happen to me anymore personally, simply because I'm the one that's curving the women at this point. Like, one thing that you'll notice the more that you develop as a man, and this is really for the people that have stuck around, you know, for this long in the video, it's like when you develop more as a man, you're going to find yourself rejecting women more than they reject you. And it's not because you are on an ego trip and you want to get revenge at rejecting women. It's just like you just see what they are, man. You just see who they are. You see that they're deceivers. You just see that, you know, a lot of them don't have good intentions. And it's not even that they want to have bad intentions, it's just that they don't. Like, that's just the way that they are. They are incapable of being on a timeline in which they are submissive to a man's mission, because they've been brainwashed to believe that this is somehow wrong, and, you know, it's a form of control and obsessiveness and obsession of men are better. It's like, well, yeah, men are better, but they're not. Like, we are, but we're not, you know. We're just leaders, and leaders kind of have to be more emotionally competent and emotionally aware. That's another thing about women. They'll claim to have emotional awareness and they're great with their emotions. Are you kidding? They are freaking hurricanes, man. Like, have you ever seen the thing online where it's like, there's a trend where women are asking their man, it's like, do you think I'm the sunrise or the sunset, baby? And then this guy says, the sunrise or the sunset? Babe, you're more like a tornado or a hurricane. And it's so true, because that's how most women are. Most women cannot emotionally regulate themselves, and yet they claim to be emotionally competent. No. In order to be a leader, you have to be emotionally competent. And that's just the truth. You can't be a leader and be emotionally stupid. You have to have a high emotional IQ and a social IQ to be a leader. You just have to be. And so that's another thing that women will claim that they are, but they're just not. And you'll see this the more that you develop, and you're just like, what the? This is not what I thought it was, and it's because you're actually living from a place oriented in timelessness now. When you orient yourself as a man connected to God, and you are living from a place of timelessness, you have integrity, you keep your word, and you hold your frame. You know what happens is that you see through all of the BS. I firmly believe that being more sexist will help you as a man. And I'm not saying you should hate women. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that being more sexist will help you see the world clearly for what it is. Because when you see the world clearly for what it is, it's no longer unexpected. It's no longer like surprising. Things can be uncertain for sure, but it's not surprising. I would say it's really not surprising at all. And sure, some things might be different. It might be different than you thought it could be, but it doesn't really surprise you, right? It doesn't really surprise you. That's really where you get to as a man. You're just able to let things go too. A lot of these women out here, they're just going to be doing weird stuff because they're doing weird stuff. Doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them degenerate. Again, this is just the way that some peasants behave. Men are peasants. Women can be peasants sometimes too. Like everybody, do you have a peasant mindset or not? And I mean that with the utmost respect, because look, somebody's going to have to tell you to it straight. Like somebody has to say this. Okay, somebody has to say this. And I don't want to have to be the one to tell you this, but you might have a peasant mindset and you don't even know it. Well, what's the peasant mindset when it comes to women? It's like it's not yours, it's just your turn. You're still pedestalizing women, man. You're still pedestalizing women. And you're basically giving women the option to control you subconsciously. Because it's my turn with her now. No. It's her turn with you, bro. Look, a lot of y'all want to have these king mindsets and all that. And that's great. That's fantastic. But you don't act like one. Okay, you don't act like it. And how do you expect to have different results and not change your behavior? You need to change the behavior in order to get different results. So change the behavior, get different results, and see what happens, right? You just have to keep trying things that are new and that might be better than the other ways. But one thing that I think, another thing that is kind of strange, is women, they will you gotta be mindful with how you say certain things, because some women are she beasts and they just need to be cast out like a devil. They just need to be cast out like a demon. Do not let her come into your domain, because she will try to steal and siphon your energy. Okay, she lives on a timeline in which the only way that her timeline, that is fake, she lives on a fake timeline, and the only way that that fake timeline survives is by feeding off the real timelines of the simps. Okay, so if she feeds off the real timelines of the simps think that they're investing into something real, when in reality, the woman is just siphoning off their life force and through their timeline to inflate her timeline here. So she's a she-beast. That's a Jezebel, okay? So someone in the Regal Change Academy messaged me the other day about a praying mantis, that the way that praying mantises work is that the woman praying mantis will be all seductive and right with the men, and then the woman will eat the male praying mantis. That's crazy. And that's exactly how Jezebels work if you're not careful. She will eat you. She will eat your time. She will eat your energy. She will eat your resources. Again, it goes back to women will either multiply what you have or she'll take from you. It just is that simple. It doesn't need to be so complicated. And women, another weird thing about women they're really not that mystical. Okay, they're not mysterious. A lot of men think that women are mysterious, and it's because they've psychologically blackmailed you into believing that. Okay, women are not that serious. Like, they're not that mysterious, and they're just not that serious. I don't take them seriously. And I'm not saying that I don't take them sincerely, I just don't take them seriously. Because they are effectively just trying to, if they're not mature, they're just trying to take from you. So you just have to learn which ones are more receptive to multiplying what you have to offer. That's it. That's all you have to know. So I hope that this message was useful and insightful for you. I hope that everybody has a blessed rest of your day. Stay blessed. Peace. Until next time.